You know what it is, Soundtrack Saturday. Welcome back to another one. We playing in the year 2000 here. A film by the name of Shaft. Based on the original Shaft novel, which was written by Ernest Tidyman. And then they go on to make a movie that comes out in 1971, the original Shaft movie. But we're covering the 2000 version today. The screenplay was written by Richard Price, John Singleton, and Shane Salerno. Directed by the dog himself, Mr. John Singleton, R.I.P. Starring Mr. Samuel L. Jackson. You have Vanessa Williams is in this movie. Jeffrey Wright, the great Jeffrey Wright. Christian Bale. Busta Rhymes pops up in this movie. You know, the black, cool action hero. He's an NYPD detective. No nonsense type of guy. Does his shit with style and flair. You know, just whoop ass and fight crime. But do it in such a cool, smooth way. It's like a mystery who's done it, but it's very loosely done. John Singleton's touch on this movie is what made it interesting. This was the reprise for the young generation right here. And I think we kind of bought into it. Shaft wasn't like my generation shit. Like we had other people. His tactics is just he could fight, he's quick. He don't know too much moves, but he just know how to whoop ass. This soundtrack was originally released by LaFace Records and Arista Records. It's only right to start this soundtrack like this. Obviously, if you've heard or seen the first movie, Isaac Hayes was the main composer of all of the music in it. The late great Isaac. The build up on this song is like fucking amazing. It don't get more smooth. This is the black superhero theme music. It's still to this day it holds up because it's just like it's mysterious and deep thought and cool, and that explains a lot of like the black men and how we like present ourselves in an artsy space. This song just really it sets the tone. Like you know some shit about to happen. It feel like a smooth ass motherfucker about to come out and start whooping ass. You know, Black Indiana Jones type shit. And now I'm a bad man, not ashamed of you. Bad man, yeah. Don't be full of love. We got R. Kelly, Bad Man. Ah. I always gotta talk about R. Kelly differently now. It's not a reveal of like any filthy song he's doing. He's just talking about how hard it was growing up on the streets and that he overcame it all. So he's a bad man. It's supposed to be going with the theme of Shaft being a bad man, but I don't like this record, this tone of record after the Shaft breakdown. After you have such a Shaft theme song, and then you just go into this slow dragging R. Kelly record. I don't really like that transition. And this song for me, I remember hearing it, but it was just one of them passable R. Kelly joints. It feels churchy. This is like for the older black women. Like this is the record for them. Baby, baby, if you saw me in church on Sunday, you could tell I've learned my lesson well. Oh, like this. Like a bottom biscuit, I was so tough till you're out here. Yeah, this is him making his little cruise cabaret type of music. This is very much targeted to like the 45, year old crew at this time. If you was 45 in 2000, this was like aimed right at you. For the young people, I'm like, you could tell that they knew who would probably be buying this, who's like super into Shaft. Because this is like, I'm sure women, middle-aged black women around this time just was in love with Shaft, like off some Keith Sweat shit. Feels like Madea, like, when the family's out. It's a sneaky little sample. It's snapping it. Do 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 do. Bow bow. He sampled that record, and that's a classic record. I forget whose song that is originally. You got Donnell Jones doing this version of it. And they put the club drums on top of it, so you really can't tell what sample it is until you really listen to it. This joint okay, it's not my favorite of his records just because it's like you can tell he just starting to get his chops of like how to kill a song. This beat is like, she milked this beat as far as like just letting the beat ride out. It's very long. You don't even hear Alicia Keys on this joint until like 2 minutes into the record. So if you got a short attention span, you won't be listening to this shit. But then when she finally gets onto it, she brings like this grand kind of deep voiced opera type of nuance to it. And then she kind of gets in her Alicia Keys bag on the hook. I like the hook. What she's doing on the verse, it's a little taste driven. I'm not, not really for me. This beat is like, it's like a female version of the like Shaft sound.
If we serve, and when you call, all we do is say, come on, chopped off like a sawed off. Call JB Hunt truck and get it hauled off. Lyrically hard, so you know I gotta drop sauce. Been getting stronger in the streets since we jumped off. So talk about it, show your cars, cause it's getting sticky. North Street legend up in Nashville named Pinky. Had a little trouble in the club, it got wild. Got a call from the owner named Mike Childs.
See, I like this. You got Big Gip coming through. And Big Gip, he's out of that Dungeon family. You know what I mean? So it's cool that he just got his own record, because I haven't heard enough of just him. I usually just hear him sandwiched in with the group, off some Deep 12 shit. But it's good to just hear him flex and get his shit off. I like this beat for him. I like this beat for the soundtrack. I got no hate on this record at all. Like, if I was going to say anything, the hook is not that strong. But I don't know if he's a hook guy.
Everybody wants to be a tough guy. We took it from back in the pistol, the jacket just missed through the stack in my crystal. Now my torpedoes leave a crack in your missiles. When we start, ain't no stopping us. We just point, popular, take a choice, we topple up. From dark to the Doppler to the ancient underground realm. Notice that Codia, where true ass niggas go on and bad ass bitches be boning you. I'm boning you. Niggas will feel the middle of your monia and make your bra lick the pony up.
I never heard this song. You got Outkast and UGK squaring off on this motherfucker. And it's funny the way they got Outkast as the buns and then UGK as the fucking meat in the middle, which is hilarious. The beat, I don't like those dark piano. I don't like the dark piano tones they playing on this motherfucker. But the drums is, Outkast and Down South and their own original dope shit. But the song don't light up until the spitters get on and start doing their thing. And boy, they lighted a new motherfucking asshole. I feel like Bun B, I have to give Bun B the #1 verse on here, just because he sounds so motherfucking seasoned. And then the style he kicking, really, I ain't heard him kick that style. #2, it's a toss up between Pimp and Stacks. A Big Boy got to go at the end. I may have to give #2 to Stacks. But fucking Pimp brings so much flavor to this drink. This ain't the best Pimp verse I've heard, but Pimp ain't lacking. Like, he keeping this song swagging.
me, nigga fucking with me. I'ma make it so tomorrow you be lucky to see. Have a nigga clutching his knee, struggling to breathe. Make a gas out of your battle like a kidney disease. Yeah, I know you're holding weight, so just give me the keys. Or these motherfuckers with your finna witness your bleed. Paraben's cutting your jeans, ripping your sleeve. Put your ass in a body bag, zipping it clean. Ain't a motherfucker doing like I do. You and your nigga running off into an image to you.
They put T.I. T.I.P. Young T.I. too. I didn't even know he was did a record with Beanie Siegel here. You know, Rockefeller. Maybe he was about to do a Rockefeller deal early. And this is like I liked how T.I. just came. You know, Southern nigga come up here, show these New York niggas he could hop on any of their little beats. They just gave him a little, you know, a little jazzy bass line with some hard ass drums on it. Just let these niggas go off. Him and Siegel. You know, Siegel gonna come with that gun talk, but T.I. was pushing the flow, pushing the content on this. I get a nod to T.I. just because his verse was a little more, you know, new young nigga-ish with it, you know. And don't no slight to Beanie Siegel, he did his thing. It's not the greatest song, it's more of a cipher type of thing. This song fucked me up as a kid. I hadn't traveled, but somehow listening to this song had me in the Caribbean somewhere. After having sex, I hadn't even really had sex much then. You know, it was just, you know, and I had it just by listening to this song. Cause this song is a moment, bro. It takes you right there if you've never been. It just feels tropical. It's got that feel, you know, it just changed your whole atmosphere when you listen to a song like this. Carl Thomas was all the way in his bag. Who produced this? Let's see. What the fuck? I am surprised to see that Heavy D is a part of the production of this song. But I'm not surprised because Heavy D is so musical. Warren Campbell. Not sure who Warren Campbell is, but I'm sure they're a dynamic duo producing a song like this. You got Organized Noise on here, and you know Sleepy Brown. They brought the flute into the game. I hadn't heard much flute, and then maybe you know before them was like Stevie Wonder, them niggas who would bring a flute into the game. But I'm talking about hip hop specifically. I don't think I heard the flute much. You know these Atlanta niggas are bringing it back now, but they was doing this shit in 2000, early 2000s. I ain't peeped that. It takes a while for this song to get going, but when Sleepy Brown gets a hold of it, he brings some pimp smoothness to it.
Nigga, that bitch gon' pay me. What you say? Oh, these hoes gon' pay me. Nigga, that's the hoe, nothing but the dog and me, baby. Nigga, that's pimp shit. Born to max. That's what I said. I was born to max and at a young age. I knew I'd be a real pimp someday. So I practiced my walk. I studied the game. I never been a sucker, but I was still lame.
Some loked out underground dopeness from Too Short right here. It was on one of his projects, but god damn, I ain't never heard it. And that beat is so hard because I love to hear the different like textures of these West Coast niggas beats. Too Short got the ear. Always have. That's why he like the granddaddy of this shit. He the one who nobody really talk about, but he's always been around. He got the career of a like fucking turtle. He'll always be here. He'll never leave. And this nigga will probably live till he's like 110 and just be still making an album. He gonna call that joint a century. It's the brutal honesty. You gotta love him. Gotta love him for that shit. He say the shit every man thinks at one point in time, but just don't say it because we got that sensory overload shit. You know, we'll have a thought and that shit gotta run to the president. You know, and the president got to like either veto that shit or send it through. But Too Short, ain't no president up there. This nigga's like, bitch, I've been cheating on you. You been cheating on me. We should get to have a big ass fucking orgy out this motherfucker. Cheating orgy. Liberty City. I ain't never heard of these niggas. This is some super toxic ass shit. Everybody cheating on this joint. But he's just really, he's like, but fuck all that. We all know that. He on the other shit. He like, nah, but I'm fucking with this chick. Just both of them backdooring each other. This shit is some sad shit, but he make it sound cool.
Call it the mix. All I need is just a taste. Straight up, straight up. Just can't get enough of your love. Two times, baby. High, so high. Just can't quit, can't get it right.
Some group called Parlay. Never heard of them. They not moving the needle for me. Because this beat ain't really doing nobody no justice. They just threw this up and it's like whoever could dunk it. And Eve saw it and Eve dunked it. Even Jadakiss was just, fucking around. Jadakiss is dope though, but he brought a little bit of his influence. He ain't just go rob this beat. He let Eve go ahead and have at it. And Eve ate. But you don't get even to the end, so you gotta bear the song of this Parlay group until then. Jada and Eve couldn't necessarily save it. I say if you want to listen to it, just go to Eve's verse at the end.
Hard to get money with my niggas hang at. Hard to fucking fraud that I took some change at. Hard to shine where I park the range at. Yeah, it's hard to get that fame, and I'ma make it hard for y'all to get that fame.
South Philly, Murder Mill. We good. This is like such a generic, like, East Coast type of sound that got hacky to me very fast. I couldn't really deal with it too hard. And then these type of rhymes, man, where it's just like he trying to go for the punchline king type of style, but not really. The punchlines aren't strong to me. I can tell he's more of a battle rapper than a song maker. Hip-hop's James Brown. Actually, I really like this song. I really like the beat. The beat is a crime scene. The beat is already just a story. So, and then to hear him come like no other rapper would ever take on this beat like that. And it's very dynamic because he's saying a lot and he's very poignant, but he got that fast flow. So you got to keep up with him. You got to rewind him a few times, and it's on purpose. And I'm glad he's like that. And this is one Mystikal song I've never heard. I never heard him take this type of record. You know what I mean? I'm really like, damn, I got to listen to way more Mystikal. And I already like Mystikal a lot. I just didn't dig all the way into his deep cuts.
Settle down.
Queen Angie Stone, a foremother of hip hop, definitely whatever she could do, whatever. I mean, this ain't even my style or my type of record, but she can do anything. She's gotten me before and can come get me again whenever she wants to. She just makes every type of record. So I'm not gonna hate on this in any way because she got the free pass to make whatever she wants because it's never whack. Like the style she doing, I just don't fuck with. But whoever fuck with this style of music, like gonna be like, oh, she killed that shit.
Loco por volver a verte, estoy aquí sentado y solito, mi corazón ya no responde, porque ya no es sin día ajena.
Fulanito. Never heard of this group. It's 5 guys out of New York. I kind of like their styles. You know what I mean? It's alright. You know, the rhymes ain't like hard hitting or nothing, but they just trying they cool. You know what I mean? It seem a little cheesy, but I gotta hear more. I think they could have got a better Spanish hip hop record at that time, but hey, you know, I guess any love is good love. You gotta be kind of picky with this one. You know, it's some surprises on here. It's some really big moments. I feel like on here on a low key tip, some slept on records that's on here. But as a cohesive project, it doesn't work for me. It's all over the place. It's, you know, they're trying to do a grab in a lot of directions here. It's not cohesive with the movie. They kind of started off that way, but then totally got off the rails with that. So it doesn't feel like the movie. It just feels like its own randomness. I ain't gonna front the movie. The only reason why I like this particular movie is because John Singleton had his fingerprint on it, and he usually can make it dope. Even some whack shit, he could figure something out with it. So that's why I'd say even give the movie a chance. But I don't care, you know, the other ones is whatever. And that's it for the soundtrack Saturday. Get up with your boy, man. I'ma holla at y'all. Enjoy your weekend.